Horror Story. Title: The Salem Trapped Souls. Main story: the moon hung high in the night sky, casting an eerie glow over the quiet town of Salem. Its narrow streets, lined with ancient, gnarled trees, seemed to whisper secrets of the past. Among the residents of this enigmatic place were Mark Lewis and Zoe Joy, two teenagers seeking excitement on a seemingly ordinary evening. Mark, an 18-year-old student with a penchant for adventure, had always been drawn to the supernatural. His curiosity often led him down paths less traveled, and tonight was no exception. Zoe, a stunning beauty with flowing black hair and a mischievous smile, shared Mark's fascination and was always up for a thrill. In the dimly lit basement of Mark's house, they sat huddled around a creaky wooden table, a flickering candle casting eerie shadows on the walls. Before them lay a mysterious Ouija board, its surface adorned with arcane symbols and letters. Excitement and trepidation pulsed through their veins as they placed their trembling fingers on the planchette. "Is there anyone here?" Mark asked, his voice quivering with anticipation. Silence enveloped the room, broken only by the distant hooting of an owl. Suddenly, the planchette trembled beneath their fingertips, jerking and sliding across the board. They exchanged startled glances, their eyes wide with disbelief. Who are you?" Zoe stammered, her voice barely a whisper. The planchette continued its erratic dance, spelling out a name: Malachi. As the letters formed, the room grew colder, and a faint breeze rustled through the cracks in the walls. Unbeknownst to the pair, they had unwittingly awakened a malevolent presence that had been lying dormant for centuries. The planchette surged forward, dragging their hands along with it. Their fingers became ice cold, and their hearts pounded in their chests as they desperately tried to release their grip. But it was futile. The entity's hold on them was too strong, and they were powerless to resist. With a violent jolt, Mark and Zoe were yanked from their seats and transported into a realm of darkness and despair. They found themselves standing on a desolate plain, surrounded by twisted, dead trees that clawed at the ashen sky. The air was thick with the stench of decay, and distant whispers echoed through the chilling silence. Their hearts raced as they stumbled through the nightmarish landscape, searching for a way back home. But the more they struggled, the more the darkness tightened its grip, suffocating their hopes of escape. Shadows danced around them, morphing into grotesque figures with glowing eyes and contorted features. As they ventured deeper into the abyss, they stumbled upon an ancient graveyard, its tombstones weathered and crumbling. The ground beneath their feet seemed to pulse with a sinister energy. Suddenly, the earth erupted, and skeletal hands burst from the ground, reaching for their trembling bodies. Mark and Zoe screamed in terror as they fought off the skeletal onslaught, desperately trying to break free from their skeletal captors. Just as all hope seemed lost, a blinding light pierced through the darkness, forcing the undead abominations to retreat. It was the first glimmer of hope they had seen since their nightmarish journey began. The light led them to a dilapidated chapel, its doors creaking open invitingly. As they stepped inside, the atmosphere shifted, and an ethereal figure materialized before them. It was a ghostly apparition of a young girl, her face pale and sorrowful. "I am Amelia, a victim of the evil that haunts this place," the ghostly figure whispered. "You have been trapped by the malevolent presence that I too once encountered. But there is a way to break free from its grasp." Amelia explained that Malachi, the entity they had inadvertently summoned, drew power from their fear and desperation. To escape, they needed to confront their deepest fears head-on and find the strength to resist his influence. With newfound determination, Mark and Zoe embarked on a treacherous journey through the chapel. Each room they entered presented them with chilling manifestations of their worst nightmares. Mark confronted the suffocating darkness of a claustrophobic maze, while Zoe faced a relentless pursuit by shadowy figures with glowing red eyes. As they overcame each terrifying trial, their resilience grew, weakening Malachi's hold over them. With each victory, the horrors around them lost their potency, fading into mere illusions. They were breaking the chains that bound them to this nightmarish realm. Finally, they reached the heart of the chapel, where a portal to their world awaited. But just as they were about to step through, Malachi materialized before them in a fearsome display of spectral power. He unleashed a barrage of malevolent energy, aiming to crush their spirits and force them into eternal servitude. Mark and Zoe, their strength bolstered by their journey, stood united against the onslaught. They refused to succumb to fear, their eyes locked on the swirling vortex that held the promise of freedom. With a surge of indomitable will, they channeled their newfound courage, and a blinding surge of energy emanated from their very beings. The force repelled Malachi, scattering him into fragments of ethereal mist. The nightmarish realm trembled, its dark fabric tearing apart, and the chapel crumbled around them. Through the chaos, Mark and Zoe dove into the portal, propelled by the energy of their triumph. When they opened their eyes, they found themselves back in Mark's basement. The Ouija board lay before them, lifeless and benign. It seemed as if their harrowing ordeal had been a terrifying dream, but the lingering sense of dread told them otherwise. From that day on, Mark and Zoe vowed never to dabble with forces beyond their comprehension again. The horror they had experienced would forever serve as a reminder of the dangers lurking in the shadows. As they glanced at each other, their eyes filled with gratitude and a newfound closeness. They had faced their darkest fears together and emerged stronger than ever. The bond forged through their shared terror would forever tie them, serving as a testament to their resilience and friendship. Little did they know that somewhere, in the depths of the forgotten, Malachi's malevolence seethed, patiently awaiting the opportunity to wreak havoc once more. The shadows of Salem whispered their secrets, warning those who would listen that darkness would always find a way to claw its way back into their lives. And so, the tale of Mark Lewis and Zoe Joy became a cautionary tale, a whispered legend passed down through generations, a reminder of the horrors that lurk just beyond the veil of our reality. Years passed, and the memory of their encounter with Malachi faded into the annals of Salem's haunted history. Mark and Zoe moved on with their lives, each pursuing their own paths, but the bond forged in the depths of darkness remained unbreakable. Mark, now a renowned paranormal investigator, had dedicated his life to unraveling the mysteries of the supernatural. He had become a beacon of hope for those tormented by malevolent forces, using his knowledge and experience to help others find solace in the face of the unknown. Zoe, on the other hand, had channeled her inner strength and resilience into becoming an advocate for the victims of supernatural entities. She worked tirelessly to raise awareness, educate others, and prevent the kind of horrors they had endured from befalling innocent souls. One fateful night, as Mark prepared for another investigation, a familiar sense of foreboding washed over him. The air crackled with an unsettling energy, and whispers carried on the wind, echoing the name, Malachi. The entity, it seemed, had returned, thirsting for revenge. Unable to ignore the signs, Mark contacted Zoe, urging her to join him. They knew that facing Malachi once again would be perilous, but they could not stand idle while innocent lives hung in the balance. Together, they returned to the town that had once been their battleground, determined to put an end to the malevolent entity's reign. Salem had changed since their last encounter. It had become a town plagued by an unexplained darkness, its residents gripped by fear and despair. The once vibrant streets now lay shrouded in an oppressive gloom, and the wind carried a mournful wail that chilled them to the bone. Mark and Zoe delved deep into the heart of Salem, guided by their intuition and the fragments of information they had gathered over the years. They sought out the hidden corners where Malachi's presence lingered, determined to extinguish the darkness that threatened to consume everything. As they ventured through decrepit houses and crumbling structures, they uncovered a web of secrets and a trail of souls left shattered in Malachi's wake. The entity had grown stronger, feeding off the fear and misery of the town's inhabitants. It had ensnared the unsuspecting, manipulating their minds and turning them into pawns in its malevolent game. Mark and Zoe's journey was fraught with peril. They encountered grotesque apparitions, nightmarish illusions, and lost souls driven to madness by Malachi's influence. But their resolve held steadfast, fueled by the memory of their previous triumph over this malevolence. Finally, in the heart of an abandoned asylum, they confronted Malachi once more. The entity manifested itself before them, its form twisted and monstrous. It hissed and snarled, its voice a cacophony of tortured souls. "You cannot defeat me," Malachi seethed, its presence suffusing the air with a putrid stench. "I am eternal, and this town will forever be under my control." But Mark and Zoe had grown in strength and wisdom. They had learned that courage, friendship, and the power of the human spirit could conquer even the most formidable of foes. With every ounce of their being, they unleashed a torrent of light, love, and resilience. The battle raged on, an epic clash of light and darkness. Mark wielded ancient symbols, channeling the energy of the living world. Zoe called upon her inner strength, her voice ringing out with a resolute determination. In a final, cataclysmic surge, their combined forces overwhelmed Malachi. The entity let out a deafening scream, writhing in agony as its essence unraveled, dissipating into the ether. The darkness that had consumed Salem began to recede, replaced by a soft, golden glow. The town slowly returned to its former state, as if awakened from a haunting nightmare. The air felt lighter, and the oppressive gloom lifted, replaced by a renewed sense of hope. Mark and Zoe stood amidst the remnants of their battle, breathless but victorious. They had once again triumphed over the malevolent force that had threatened their town. Their courage and determination had saved Salem from the clutches of darkness. News of their heroic deeds spread throughout the town, igniting a spark of resilience in the hearts of its inhabitants. The legends of Mark Lewis and Zoe Joy grew, inspiring others to stand against the shadows and reclaim their lives from the grip of fear. Mark and Zoe, forever bound by their shared experiences, continued their mission to protect the innocent and confront the supernatural. They became renowned figures in the world of the occult, their names synonymous with courage and strength. But in the quiet moments, when the world was still, they would find solace in each other's presence. Their bond had grown into something deeper than friendship, their connection forged through the crucible of fear and survival. They had faced the horrors together and emerged not only as heroes but as partners in a journey that transcended the ordinary. And as the years passed, Mark and Zoe remained vigilant, knowing that the forces of darkness would always find a way to encroach upon the world. Their story, whispered around campfires and told to wide-eyed children, served as a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity and the power of love and friendship to conquer even the most insidious of nightmares. In the depths of Salem, where the secrets of the past lingered, they stood as guardians, ready to face whatever darkness dared to rear its head. For they knew that as long as there were shadows, there would always be those brave enough to stand against them, fueled by the light that burned within their hearts. And so, their tale became legend, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and a reminder that even in the face of unspeakable horrors, there is always hope, courage, and the power to overcome. The years rolled on, and Mark and Zoe's legend grew beyond the confines of Salem. They became renowned across the world, sought after by those plagued by supernatural terrors. Their skills, honed through countless battles, made them formidable protectors against the forces of darkness. Their journey took them to the far corners of the globe, to haunted castles shrouded in mist, ancient burial grounds steeped in secrets, and cursed forests where shadows danced under the moonlight. They faced vengeful spirits, malevolent entities, and ancient curses that threatened to unravel the fabric of reality. Yet, even as they vanquished these formidable adversaries, a new threat emerged, one that challenged everything they had come to know. It began with strange occurrences, subtle disturbances that defied explanation. Mark and Zoe sensed a shift in the balance, a disturbance in the delicate equilibrium between the realms. Their investigation led them to a forgotten journal, buried within the archives of a long-abandoned library. It spoke of an ancient prophecy, foretelling the rise of a cataclysmic force that would seek to devour all light and plunge the world into eternal darkness. The only hope lay in the hands of two destined protectors, marked by their previous encounters with the supernatural. Mark and Zoe realized that their journey had not yet ended, that their duty to protect humanity extended beyond individual battles. They were chosen, bound by fate, to confront this ultimate threat and ensure the survival of all that they held dear. Guided by the fragments of the prophecy, they embarked on a perilous quest to gather the artifacts of power scattered across the globe. These relics, imbued with ancient magic, were said to hold the key to unlocking the force necessary to thwart the impending catastrophe. Their journey led them through treacherous jungles, across treacherous seas, and into the heart of forgotten temples. Along the way, they encountered formidable guardians, cunning traps, and insidious temptations designed to test their resolve. But with each trial, their bond grew stronger, their resolve unyielding. At last, they stood before the final gateway, a rift between worlds where the malevolent force lurked, poised to consume all that remained. Mark and Zoe, armed with the artifacts they had painstakingly assembled, faced their ultimate test. The battle that ensued was cataclysmic, a clash of titanic forces that threatened to tear reality asunder. The skies darkened, thunderous cracks splitting the air as the very fabric of existence quivered under the strain. Light and darkness collided in an epic struggle, the outcome hanging in the balance. Mark and Zoe unleashed their combined power, channeling the energy of the relics, and fought with unwavering determination. They knew that failure meant the end of everything they held dear, of the world they had fought so tirelessly to protect. In a blinding flash of brilliance, their efforts proved triumphant. The malevolent force was vanquished, its tendrils of darkness dissipated into nothingness. Light flooded back, banishing the shadows that had threatened to consume all. As the dust settled, Mark and Zoe stood at the precipice of a new era, their duty fulfilled. They had saved the world from annihilation, safeguarding it from the forces of darkness. Their names would forever be etched in the annals of history, a testament to their bravery and sacrifice. But amidst the celebration, they knew that the world was ever changing, and new threats would inevitably arise. They would remain ever vigilant, their hearts filled with a burning determination to protect, to fight, and to ensure that darkness would never gain a foothold again. And so, Mark and Zoe continued their journey, their spirits intertwined, bound by a destiny that transcended time and space. Their adventures continued, but with each triumph, they also encountered new challenges and unexpected twists. They faced ancient curses that defied comprehension, haunted artifacts that whispered malevolent secrets, and entities of unfathomable power that tested their very existence. Their travels took them to remote corners of the world, where forgotten civilizations hid ancient secrets. They delved into lost tombs, deciphered cryptic symbols, and navigated treacherous labyrinths. The mysteries they unraveled were both awe-inspiring and terrifying, revealing a hidden world teeming with supernatural wonders and unforgiving dangers. Along their path, they encountered allies as well as adversaries. Some were ancient guardians bound to protect the knowledge they possessed, while others were individuals scarred by their own encounters with the supernatural. Together, they formed a united front against the forces that sought to plunge the world into darkness once more. Mark and Zoe's relationship blossomed amidst the chaos and danger. Their bond grew deeper, fueled by shared experiences, unspoken understanding, and an unyielding trust in one another. Their connection transcended the boundaries of ordinary relationships, intertwining their destinies as they fought side by side against the encroaching darkness. However, as their adventures escalated, they soon discovered that an enigmatic organization known as the Shadow Syndicate sought to exploit the supernatural for their own nefarious purposes. This secret society operated from the shadows, wielding ancient artifacts and manipulating dark forces to further their own agenda. Mark and Zoe became targets of the Shadow Syndicate, who saw their power and knowledge as a threat. The organization's agents pursued them relentlessly, employing dark magic and formidable adversaries to eliminate the two protectors of light. The battle against the Shadow Syndicate pushed Mark and Zoe to their limits. They faced betrayal from unexpected sources, grappled with their own inner demons, and questioned their own resolve. But through it all, their determination remained unyielding, fueled by the memories of all they had overcome and the lives they had touched. In a climactic showdown, Mark and Zoe confronted the leader of the Shadow Syndicate, a mastermind steeped in darkness. The battle that ensued was a clash of epic proportions, each strike resonating with the weight of their collective journey. With every ounce of their strength, Mark and Zoe unveiled the truth behind the Shadow Syndicate's dark agenda. They exposed the organization's machinations to the world, shattering its influence and freeing those under its sway. But victory came at a price. The battle left its scars, both physical and emotional, and Mark and Zoe emerged forever changed. They carried the burden of the battles they fought, the lives they had lost, and the knowledge that darkness would always seek to claw its way back. However, their journey was far from over. As they stood at the precipice of a new chapter, they understood that their purpose extended beyond their individual roles as protectors. They had become beacons of hope, inspiring others to stand against the encroaching shadows, to protect the light that shone within each soul. And so, Mark and Zoe continued to navigate the treacherous path of the supernatural, forever intertwined, their shared legacy etched in the annals of the paranormal. Their story became an enduring legend, whispered in hushed tones, reminding humanity of the importance of resilience, love, and unwavering determination in the face of unimaginable horrors. Together, they would brave the unknown, forever bound by their unbreakable bond and their unwavering commitment to protect the world from the darkness that lurks in its deepest recesses. As Mark and Zoe delved deeper into the supernatural realms, their encounters grew even more perilous and the twists in their journey became increasingly unexpected. They ventured into uncharted territories, where the line between reality and nightmare blurred. Their latest investigation led them to a secluded mansion perched atop a desolate hill. Rumors whispered of a curse that plagued the estate, a curse that consumed the souls of all who dared to enter. Undeterred by the warnings, Mark and Zoe ventured inside, their hearts pounding with equal parts excitement and trepidation. The mansion exuded an eerie atmosphere, its corridors winding and labyrinthine. Every creaking floorboard, every flickering candle, seemed to be orchestrated by unseen hands. The air was heavy with a sense of impending doom, as if the house itself was alive, watching their every move. As they explored the mansion's shadowy depths, strange phenomena assailed them from all sides. Doors slammed shut with a deafening force, paintings distorted into grotesque visages, and whispers echoed through the halls. Each step they took seemed to unleash a new horror, testing their mettle and pushing them to the brink of their sanity. But Mark and Zoe were not easily deterred. They pressed forward, their determination unyielding, fueled by their shared purpose and the lives they had vowed to protect. With each encounter, they unraveled the mansion's dark secrets, peeling back the layers of its history to expose the malevolence that had taken root within its walls. In their search for answers, they stumbled upon a hidden chamber deep within the mansion's bowels. The room pulsated with an otherworldly energy, and the walls were adorned with arcane symbols. In the center stood an ancient Ouija board, its presence both mesmerizing and foreboding. Curiosity ignited within Mark and Zoe, and against their better judgment, they decided to engage with the board. As their fingertips made contact with the planchette, an electric current surged through their bodies, causing them to recoil in shock. The room darkened, and a chilling wind howled through the chamber. The Ouija board came alive, its letters spelling out a dire warning. It revealed the mansion's true nature, a gateway to a realm of nightmares, a conduit for dark entities to cross over into the mortal realm. Mark and Zoe had unknowingly unleashed a force far greater than anything they had encountered before. Suddenly, the room erupted in chaos. Shadows twisted and contorted, forming grotesque figures that lunged at them with malevolent intent. Mark and Zoe fought desperately, their skills honed through years of battling the supernatural, but it seemed that the darkness had gained the upper hand. Just as all hope seemed lost, a blinding light burst forth from within Mark and Zoe. It emanated from the deep connection they shared, their bond strengthened by their unwavering trust and love for one another. The light engulfed the room, banishing the shadows and revealing the mansion's true form, an ancient entity that fed on fear and despair. With their newfound understanding, Mark and Zoe confronted the entity head-on. They tapped into their own inner strength, weaving a tapestry of light and resilience that shone brightly against the encroaching darkness. Together, they chanted ancient incantations and invoked powers beyond comprehension. In a climactic battle, Mark and Zoe unleashed the full force of their combined might, channeling the energy of the Ouija board itself. The mansion shook, its foundation crumbling as the ancient entity was finally vanquished. The darkness dissipated, leaving behind only the echoes of their victory. The end.